7 Hartford's #1 for hip hop and R&B. This is the B2C team. My name is Jenny Boom Boom, and of course, DJ Michi's here. Hello,
What's
Meech.
up? What's up?
Today we have our good friend Jason Black from the Community Renewal Team with us. Hello there, Jason.
Hey there, Jenny and Meech. Good to see you both.
Happy holidays to you there, sir.
Yeah, happy
Thank
holidays.
you. Happy holidays to you both. I understand the eggnog's already rolling, so that's good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, not this early in the morning, but yeah, it's going to be rolling a little bit later on with a little bit of
right.
Fair touch of spirits in there. You know,
that's right.
That's how we get down. So anyway, go ahead, Meech. I know you wanted to start off the interview today.
So Jason, you know, when you say that you're gonna end the year off strong, you was right. I see you guys got a lot going on with CRT.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had a very busy year, like many of us have, of course, but the holidays in particular, it's nice, you know, because it brings out the best in people, right? And certainly at a time when many of us really need it, and when many of us we're sort of wondering, you know, how are we going to get through this time of year, and what are we doing as the new year approaches? And so we have seen some incredible gifting, if you will, going on from the community, from people who have been fortunate enough to give back and to give in meaningful ways. So for instance, one is our good friends at Hoffman Auto. Every year they do a thing where they do these holiday baskets for 200 families that are served by CRT. So normally it's like a turkey and all of the fixins. It's like dinner for 10. It's a big basket of food. Wow. This year, because of COVID world, they're doing gift cards instead. So those were just distributed to families last week. We're really very thankful to Hoffman Auto for everything that they did. Similarly, an anonymous donor, he came through with a big check right at the beginning of December, and specifically said to us he wants us to, you know, turn those into gift cards that can go to CRT families with children, so that those families can get, you know, toys or other stuff that they need for their kids. 200 families are benefiting. Wow. From that, which is pretty amazing. And so we're we're grateful to that generosity, that act of kindness. You guys may know this one, the folks over at Christmas Wish CT. Some of them work at a sister station of yours, I believe.
Absolutely.
They've been hard at work, of course, with all their elves out shopping and doing all their magic. They made Christmas come true for all the kids who are living at CRT Generations. Which is a really wonderful campus in Hartford where grandparents, they have legal custody of their grandkids. We may have talked about Generations before.
Yeah, I think we have, and it's just a wonderful program.
It's amazing. And so there's almost 50 kids there on that campus, you know, all young and teenagers. And so again, all those kids, they wrote letters to Santa, right? And Santa behind the scenes took care of all of them. And so those gifts were picked up and delivered back to the Generations campus a week ago, and so we know that they're having a lovely Christmas as well, thanks to that act of generosity. Really pretty incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's so great. So first of all, you brought up COVID World, which should be a horror movie, I'm assuming, right? It's coming out in 2022. COVID Worlds. So I know you mentioned Hoffman Auto Group and all the great things they're doing, but Subaru is also doing really great things with CRT, right?
They are. So and that's a big for asking. It's a national program of Subaru with their Share the Love event. It is now through January 4th. If you are in a position where you're shopping for a new car, or you're going to buy, you're going to lease a new Subaru, when you do, you have the opportunity to pick where a donation of $250 from the local Subaru dealer is going to go, and one of the beneficiaries of that program can be Meals on Wheels. And obviously that's a huge program that CRT oversees for all of Central Connecticut every year. It's over 2,000 meals a day that CRT is doing through Meals on Wheels, which is for homebound seniors here in Central Connecticut, Hartford County, Middlesex County, parts of Tolland. Amazing. And so, if you're in a position where you're thinking about a new car for the new year, go check out a Subaru, please, and share the love, right? $250 donation that you have the opportunity when you make that purchase or you make that lease. You can pick from one of 4 national charities that you want to give back to, Meals on Wheels being one of them. And then based on this formula that they have behind the scenes back at Subaru and through the Meals on Wheels national office, they then they provide money back to CRT every year. It's an amazing thing. We're really very grateful for that support.
Yeah, and your Meals on Wheels program is really a big deal with CRT.
It's huge. Yeah, it's one of the biggest pieces of what we do every year. as you know, and it's that team. I can't thank those folks enough, because they have really just, they've been stretched hard this year for the work that they're doing. You know, they get up at the crack of dawn, they show up, they're cooking food every day in their kitchen, they're getting it loaded onto the trucks, they're getting those trucks out, and they go out, you know, rain, shine, snow, you name it, through hurricanes. They are unstoppable, and they get the food out, and they make sure that those meals are going to the people that need them, whether it is directly to somebody's home, where it is a homebound senior, and oftentimes it's also meals that are going to our local senior centers in the communities, where people who are able to get out of the house, they can go and they can pick up those meals and take them home as well. And it's fresh cooked food every single day, every single weekday, nothing frozen. It's pretty amazing.
That's so great.
That is amazing, because I feel like we've been talking about that program for a long time now. So it's just amazing to see that you guys are continuing to do that and provide these meals for these families and these people. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Meech. No, it's we're pretty blown away by, you know, certainly by the work that takes place to make it happen, and certainly through the generosity, you know, whether it's a Subaru who's coming through in a big way, or if it's individual donors who make donations to make that program happen. We couldn't do it without that support, and it's every single weekday. And it's what's interesting about that program as well with Meals on Wheels is, you know, for someone who needs it, and if you're listening now and you know someone, you have a parent at home, or a parent who's living on their own, they don't have access to regular support, they can get signed up for Meals on Wheels, and they can get on the list for that, and they can get signed up really quickly, like within a couple days. And they can opt to have, you know, hot lunch, and then basically, you know, a prepared meal, that sort of thing, like a sandwich and stuff like that, that would be available for dinner, stuff that can just be thrown in the fridge and picked up for later on. But they can do that every single weekday. And if they want, they can even arrange for deliveries that will come at the end of the week, so that they then have food over the weekend as well.
Wow.
So you know, individuals can opt to basically have meals brought to them up to 7 days a week if they need it. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so great.
I see you guys have been getting meals from travelers as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable. So so this was really interesting. So if you go back, right, to the sort of beginning of the pandemic, back in March timeframe, and I don't know if you guys remember this story or not. We had one of our Meals on Wheels trucks was actually in an accident.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That truck was totaled. The driver, thankfully, he was fine. He did not get hurt, but the truck was a total wreck. So we were down a truck. We were able to do some fundraising earlier in the year to help us to afford to buy a new truck, which was pretty cool. But what was interesting is sort of the extra stuff that came afterwards, but as a result of that story hitting the news, including the fact that folks from Travelers saw what was going on, and they thought, well, we have a whole in-house catering department, right, who's normally really, really busy with their employees in the office in downtown Hartford. But because of where things were with the pandemic, all of those employees, or the majority of those employees, they're working from home.
Yeah.
Right. And so suddenly you've got this whole catering team who they're under contract. What are they going to do? Right. What you don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste the money, or the food for that matter. So they offered to start providing meals to CRT.
That's
and
so
to some of
great.
our programs. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And so meals have been going to CRT's homeless shelter residents, and for part of the time they were going to Generations. Some of the meals today are going to CRT's assisted living facility in Hartford. So where we stand now with Travelers, and this blows my mind. I did the math the other day. I was just like trying to figure this all out. So from the beginning of April, and they then kept extending the deadline out to when they would conclude the program. They extended to the end of December, and it gets better. But let me tell you the math here first. So with that, what do we call it? Let's call that 8 months, right? They're doing 130 meals every weekday, hot meals, prepared fresh, that we would pick up and then deliver.
Wow.
April to the end of December, almost 25,000 meals that Travelers has donated to CRT's programs.
Wow.
Which just blows my mind that they were able to do this.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, just incredible what they've done for us. And it gets better. Here's the cool part. They just agreed they're going to keep the program going through the end of March of 2021.
Oh my gosh.
So by the time they're done, I mean, I'm going to have to redo the math, but it's just thousands and thousands of meals that they've been providing, no questions asked. right?
Wow.
And it's incredible. We pick them up and deliver them, but they cook them every single day for us, and it's just amazing. Yeah, we
Jay,
cannot.
are you finding during this time with everything that's been going on that people are being more generous than ever?
Yeah, honestly, Jenny, I think we are. I mean, that's how it certainly feels to me, right? People are finding ways. Here's one that I just saw the other day, which I thought was really pretty cool. There's this couple out of Portland, Connecticut, who they decided to make, they were taking old pallets, the old wooden skids, and converting them into these cool lawn ornament style trees,
Mm-hmm.
right? Easy to just, take the buzzsaw and cut them and shape them. And so they're making these wooden pallet trees, skid trees, as they were calling them. They're selling them at the time. They were selling them for like $5 a pop. Just go to them, make a donation. All of that money they were giving back to their local food pantry in Portland.
Oh, that's
Like,
so great.
just because they can.
Right.
It's amazing, amazing. And the husband from the couple, I understand, one of his parents had been part of Meals on Wheels for a while, and so they're already aware of what's out there and what's been going on. But we just heard about this the other day and thought, wow, it's just so incredible. Similarly, also in Portland, I don't know maybe it's something in the water in Portland. There's a woman there who, with her kids, they did it last year and they're doing it again this year. They put together stockings, holiday stockings filled with goodies, treats, and like some personal supplies and puzzles and books and blankets, and overflowing. Calling them stockings is really an understatement. But for 50 seniors, many of whom are part of CRT's Meals on Wheels program in Portland and in Middletown, and those deliveries just happened last week, because of this one family who thought, I'm going to do something where I can give back. They've been in a position where they can do something good for their community, and they found a way to do it. It's lovely. It's really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's kind of hard this year to get into the holiday spirit in a way, because we've had to endure so much this year. But an act like that, I can see how it can get your whole family in the spirit of the holidays, because you're doing something so good for others.
No, I completely agree. It's pretty beautiful, and those kids are learning a valuable lesson, right, because of what mom and dad are doing. And I think it spreads, right, because other people hear about it, they see it on Facebook, or they hear about it on the radio, and they think, oh, it's not that hard, right? I could do that too. We had another one that happened, it happened earlier in the fall, but then we received the gift just at the beginning of December, because timing was just tough to get everything coordinated. But maybe you saw this one or heard about it. This lovely civic group out of Glastonbury, they're Newcomers and Neighbors Club. Every year for the past 4 years, they have done a sock drive for CRT's homeless shelter residents. And they do it in October, so it's called Socktober, right?
Nice.
And that's a thing, and that's they make it fun for the kids. This year, of course, because of COVID, it was a little tricky. They couldn't do the normal outreach they would do, where they would like go hit up businesses, or they'd set up boxes at local stores in town and stuff like that. That was harder for them to do. So the kids, they put together this really adorable little video that they put up on social media, and they all explain the program and how it works. They still pulled in over 1,200 pairs of new socks in a month, right? And then they donated those to CRT's shelter residents at the beginning of December. So unbelievable. And because of when we got the word out about that happening, we've been getting socks donated to CRT's offices on Windsor Street like every day. New box arrives, and so my boss is kind of ready to. She says my office is full of socks. So I haven't been there in a while, but I need to go in and do some sorting.
Well, socks are really fun, and they're not too expensive, and you can get those fluffy ones like at Old Navy sometimes for like $1. So I can see where all the sock donations are coming in. Everybody loves socks.
Everybody loves socks. And what's really interesting too, and part of the reason that like this group out of Glastonbury does every year, if you were to ask, and we know this because it's been proven, among the homeless, the thing that they request the most often, the thing that they need the most, clean new socks. Right. It's one of those things that so many of us, we just sort of take it for granted. Right. But it becomes one of those things that people, they really need it. And so having it, and having several pairs that you can stuff in a bag and have ready to go, it's huge. It's a big deal. And so we've been very, very impressed. Going back to your question before, Jenny, the level of generosity, the level of giving this year, it's kind of blown us away. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
So last week at CRT's Behavioral Health Services,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of doing good things,
yeah.
The folks there helped to save a man's life.
Yeah.
Tell me this story, because
Right.
I need to hear it.
Yeah, I wish those folks could sort of speak it to you directly, but I will try to communicate it for them, and I'll try not to screw it up. So this was unbelievable. Just last week, as you say, a fellow had come to our offices on Market Street in Hartford, and that building has been open this whole time. And it's interesting, that building has both behavioral health services on the first floor, people who are co-addiction issues and dealing with that. But then upstairs is our community services portion of the building, and it's helping people with financial matters primarily. So this guy had come in for an appointment with community services, but apparently he was having a bad day. And he actually overdosed in the lobby of the building.
Oh my gosh.
And fortunately the staff there, they're pretty well trained. They know what to look for. They know the signs to look for when somebody is in the middle of an episode like that. And in fact, they sort of raced to get a couple people out to the lobby to help him. One of those staff people actually caught him and broke his fall as he was collapsing to the floor. The other staff person at that point gave him Narcan, which helps when somebody's in the middle of an overdose. It revives you. That got him breathing. She then proceeded to do chest compressions. As it happened, our medical director was in the building that day. She came out as well and sort of helped supervise what was going on, make sure he was okay. 911, of course, had already been called, and the EMTs were on their way. They ended up having to hit him with Narcan several times, but they resuscitated this guy, and they got him back on his feet and breathing. And he was able to walk out to the ambulance, from what I understand. But staff over at CRT and our behavioral health services group, they saved this man's life. And they just jumped into action. They didn't even think twice. They just like, this is what we got to do. They saw the signs. They knew what was going on. They knew this guy was in trouble, and they saved him. And in fact, now the expectation is he's getting enrolled into CRT. Among the programs, the many programs, there is a program for what's called medication assisted treatment, or MAT. And that is if you are recovering from addiction with an opioid based substance, we can help you get prescribed onto something called Suboxone. And Suboxone will help to get you off the opioids and control that addiction. And so my understanding is that this individual was getting enrolled into our MAT program. And if he sticks with it, it'll turn his life around, and he'll be in a whole different place in the new year, which is really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm curious, are you seeing an uptick in folks seeking help at the behavioral health services?
I don't know the exact numbers, Jenny, but my understanding is things have not slowed down.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because I know a lot of folks are dealing with depression right now, anxiety, and amongst other things.
No, there's a lot of folks struggling. Absolutely. And that is, we're fortunate in that we do have this program available. And, and CRT is not the only provider for this type of thing, but it is, if you're listening now and you know someone, or if you yourself, you're in a position where you're having trouble with addiction issues in one form or another, help is available, right? You can get support, you can get services. If you want it, you can get Suboxone. And we've, through the program that we've been running for the past 2 years now, it's been very, very effective in helping people who have prior to this been addicted to opioids, and who are now leading a very different life because of the medication assisted treatment. It's amazing what it can do.
It's so great.
Yeah.
So something else I know that you had on your list of us to talk about today, because man, there's a lot of stuff that you guys got going on.
Yeah.
The Community Asset Building Initiative Program. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So and you guys are hearing this first.
Oh, this is an exclusive.
Exclusive.
Breaking
to
news.
CRT. Yes, exactly. So this is pretty cool. We are working with our friends from Liberty Bank. They are helping us to do a new initiative. It is, as you said, it's the Community Asset Building Initiative, or CABI, right? Let's call it CABI for short. It's a pretty cool idea for those who sign up and enroll in the program. And when you fulfill all the requirements of the program, and it's not easy, it's not just a gimme, but when you fulfill all the requirements of the program, Liberty Bank is going to help you with a dollar for dollar match to a savings account up to $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and specifically the goal of that being to help you work toward purchase of a new home. And that's when, so when we talk about asset building in the community, it is all about helping people to save for the future, save for, that part of the American dream, that home ownership piece that we all care about and strive for. This piece it's really pretty powerful. And so we're CRT in partnership with Liberty Bank. It's available. Anyone can sign up to do the program. But that matching gift from Liberty Bank for those who complete the program is specifically for the first 10 people who complete it. And to do it, you are going to have to complete, there's like an online class that we have people go through, and it's actually in conjunction with the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the people behind the scenes at the banks. So like, you'll probably see those signs in the bank. He is protected by the FDIC, right? So they have this, what they call this money smart curriculum that they've created. And it's 10 online courses or modules that you have to go through, you have to pass, right? And there'll be proof that you did it. And someone from CRT, a financial counselor, will work with you to go through those courses and make sure that you complete them successfully. And then once you do, upon successful completion of the course, you're gonna have open this savings account, account with bank, and the bank's gonna, as I said, they're gonna do this dollar for dollar match up to $1,000 to help you with your goal toward home ownership. It's pretty amazing. And
that's so great,
right? Like, what a cool way to start the new year.
Because a lot of times when you buy a home, you don't have to put money down in the house, but you do have to have money in your savings account.
Yeah, right.
You have to show that you have money in your savings account. So that's such a great program.
You got to have some equity,
right?
Some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Right? It helps people to saving habits, and it helps them understand what that means from a long-term point of view, right? In terms of, being able to set some goals for yourself, both in terms of what can you do relatively quickly to get that money saved, and then you apply that as you go forward. No, it's incredible. All of us, as we approach the new, oftentimes, right, we're thinking about those resolutions, right?
Yeah.
What do we want to do for the new year to help change our position in life? And this is one that's really achievable. It's pretty incredible. And so if people are interested in the CABI program, they can check out details on CRT's website, which is at www.crtct.org. There is information there about the CABI program that CRT has with Liberty Bank. It's really powerful. Yeah.
Wow. So you have a lot of programs.
Shortage, and we're just scratching the surface, as you know. I mean, that's the thing. We could keep, you probably have cut off.
Well, I mean, I'm sure in 2021 you have even more great things about to happen. So just tell us again, I know you can sum up all these programs on your website. Tell us how to get in touch with you folks over there at CRT.
Sure. So the quickest way people can visit the website at www.crtct.org. If it's quicker, pick up the phone, give us a call, 860-560-5800. No, forgive me, 560-5600. That's the main number. The other number is for energy assistance, but let's give that number just in case. There's a hotline for energy assistance in case people are having questions about that, and that is 560-5800. They speak English and Spanish at the call center there for the energy assistance program. But yeah, we've got folks who are in staff who, when you call that main number, that 5600 number, let them know what you're looking for. If you need some support right now, if you need a little extra help, or if you want to get signed up for the CABI program for the new year with Liberty Bank, we can help you get that underway very, very quickly. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys have so many great things going on. So once again, just give us that phone number because you kind of went out for a second.
Oh, did I? Apologize. All right. So the main number for CRT, it's 860-560-5600. So 560-5600. And that'll get you to the front desk and tell them what you're thinking about, and they will refer you to the right person internally and get you hooked up.
And what is your website again?
Yeah, I'm www.crtc.org. You can also look for Community Renewal Team on Facebook. We're there all the time. and we'll be happy to point you in the right direction.
And again, it's www.crtct.org. Okay, perfect.
.org. Yeah, we're a .org because we're a
Jason, have a really wonderful holiday season.
Thank you.
The rest of it that's left.
That's
and
right.
then we'll touch base in 2021 about all the great programs that you have coming up for the year.
Beautiful. I will tease one right now, but we'll talk about it more in the new year. In the new year, we will be doing once again our National Arts Program, which is an annual program that CRT does. We partner with this great organization called National Arts, and it's a community for artists, professional and amateur, young and old, to submit artwork to a big